Hello and welcome, I am Ashysaurus, aka Ashy, and today I'm going to be talking about Dragon Age The Veilguard, plus a channel update. So let's jump into it. If this is the type of content you would like to see, news, Dragon Age, or bioware, then you're in the right place, so like and subscribe to see more. Let's jump into it. So today I wanted to mention some things before the game comes out, because it's only 4 days while we're recording this, and so I wanted to mention some things about how I feel about it when it comes out. So let's jump into it. So I wanted to talk about how I have some worries about Dragon Age The Veilguard before getting into it, and how excited I am, or not excited I am about the game. So I just wanted to mention some things. Well, obviously I talked about the choices in 2 videos. I'll put those in the description if you want to see them. I talked about how the choices really bothered me when I first heard about it, and it still does. It's still a little bothersome, but I'm going to move on to try to play the game and see how it feels. I've also talked about how there's no spiders. I don't know if I fully talked about it in the video, but I talked about spiders. I'm pretty sure that they don't have spiders in the game, which I find that very strange. They mentioned that, and I also find that really weird because in Vows of Vengeance, they mentioned that there's spiders in the Enderfells, so that's a whole nother thing. I also worry about the character Davon, and I mentioned this on, I think, Twitter. I said that I don't want Davon to be like Jacob from Mass Effect, or Liam, or the whole controversy with Will in Baldur's Gate 3. I just don't want any of that kind of thing happening. I'll put the tweet on the screen because I was talked about it better on Twitter, but I will say that I just worry about that because we had someone that was supposed to be like deeply accurate to be a black character. He was Jacob, and he was not that good. He was a very bad stereotype, so I'm wishing the best for him. I also complained about returning characters a while ago on Twitter because a BlueSky post had on there from one of the writers and saying how basically it's better not to ask for people like Alistair to return due to the fact that we could just kill them, and that's not good. I don't really like the way that was worded. It sounded like that you have to make everything negative if you're returning characters. And Dragon Age 2, one of my favorite games from the Dragon Age franchise, it had so many good cameos that it was just so good to like actually play through it and have like Nathaniel Halcom, Zevran, and stuff like that, even though Zevran shouldn't have came, but Zevran and like and then there's a few characters that are in your party that are returning characters. So I think that they make it seem like you have to do it because of what happened in Dragon Age Inquisition, and making it feel like it has to be a serious choice because they are returning when you just had Alistair come back in Dragon Age 2, who is either a drunkard or he's the king. Like, you had those choices and they mattered, and if you chose Balin, you get Haramont's like whole clan there and stuff like that in Dragon Age 2. So I think you can do a bunch of returning characters cameos, and you could do it well. So I don't like that way that was worded. I've also talked about a bunch of stuff like the art style, the Kinari, and things like that. So if you want to hear more about that, those are in my other videos, and I'll put the playlist of all my videos down below so you can find those. I had a pros and cons video where I mostly detailed that, so that's one of them. But like I said, the art style isn't the worst thing in the world, but it's not my favorite, and the color scheme reminds me of Hogwarts. I don't really like the companion marketing. I mentioned that in my other video, but I do think that they market Rook as a secondary character, and I feel like they did the same thing with the Inquisitor, where the Inquisitor was in the marketing, but the character didn't feel like your own character. It just felt kind of like they were all the same, but you had to write out stuff for it. So I hope that Rook is different than that, because even though Hawk is the same with all the choices and stuff like that, they have different personalities, and you can choose from and get different lines depending on your personality. And that's not going to be in this game, so I really hope that they do something to make them feel more like a character than me just having to write up everything. Rook is a mirror of Soulless. I mentioned that in another video. That one was in a IGN video talking about the choices and stuff like that. I mentioned that the mirror of Soulless. I talked about that a little bit, and I just don't like it. I think it's weird. I also don't like that Soulless seems like the main point of view of this game and stuff like that, even though I know they mentioned it, but I mean in the way that he's not what people thought he was. He was going to be like some kind of antagonist. He is now supposed to look like some kind of hero character, help out character, support kind of thing, and I'm just not interested. I talked about the choices in another video, but I want to mention that I feel like the romance choice that you get for your Inquisitor, it's going to be about Soulless. It's mostly for Soulless, and they just didn't want to say it was only for Soulless because I don't see your Inquisitor mentioning stuff, and that goes into like your Inquisitor. I feel like your Inquisitor is going to be written exactly like everyone else's Inquisitor because you don't have any choices or personality or anything like Hawk. So I'm worried that's gonna be a thing that's gonna happen, that you end up putting your character in there like the way that they look, and then in the end your character is nothing like your character. It's just everyone else's Inquisitor. So I just worry about that and how aggressive they might be towards Soulless, or maybe they're not aggressive towards Soulless at all. That's my only issue with that and Soulless and stuff like that. I just feel like a lot of the stuff for the Inquisitor and Soulless is just combining for fans who are Soulless fans more than just anyone who played Inquisition. So that's my only thing. Other than that, I wanted to say that I'm excited for the game. Those are just mostly my worries for the game, slash like my criticisms for the game before it comes out. I'm excited to play the game, but I'm also nervous. I had a whole thing talking about that on Twitter that I was like, I'm nervous, but I'm also excited to play it. I just hope that this is a game that I enjoy and not just a game that I end up disliking. And that doesn't mean that if it's bad that I'm gonna go, you know, hate on it everywhere and be super negative. I'm not gonna do that. Will I rant about it one day? Probably, but I will probably move on. If I like anything from the game, I'll probably talk about it and say I enjoyed this aspect. So that's why I'm saying in this video that, you know, if I don't like it, it's gonna be life and I'm just gonna probably rant about it once or twice or something like that and try to move on from it and just make content related to Dragon Age, but not about, you know, being negative towards Dragon Age The Veilguard. If I like it, you'll never hear the end of it. I will probably talk about that all the time. Like, oh, I love this part of this game or something like that. In that kind of aspect, I talk about Dragon Age Origins a lot. So if it's like that, Dragon Age Origins or 2, I will talk about it a lot on this channel and probably like my favorite things about it and things like that, while talking about other news and things like that of other games. Now, I just wanted to lastly say that, yeah, I'm excited for the game, but I'm also worried about it. That's why I'm adding in a question before I get into my channel update. How do you guys feel about it? Are you pre-ordering the game? Are you guys going to play it on launch? Like, what are you guys gonna do? Let's have a conversation, because sometimes I will forget to say this at the ending of my video. So I just want to ask, like, are you guys excited? Do you have any things that you're worrying about and making you not feel like you want to buy it? Are you waiting for the reviews and things like that? That's coming out on the 28th. I mentioned that in my other video. So are you excited? Not excited? Tell me down below. I'd love to read it and talk about it to you guys too. So let's have a conversation. Now for my channel update. I'm going to be recording a few videos and then I'm going to edit them while I'm playing the game and uploading them. I won't be too active on anything because I'm going to try to avoid spoilers, but I will be trying to post like at least one video a week every weekend while I'm doing it. I'm going to try to make some more shorter videos or things like that. So if you're waiting for my Vows and Vengeance video, that video is taking me forever to do because I'm going to be honest, Vows and Vengeance is like the last thing on my mind. I listened to a few of the episodes and I'm just going to be honest with you, I don't know how to feel about it, so I'm just like, okay, gotta get to the ending of this and then I'm gonna make my video about it because I wrote down a lot of the stuff for the other episodes, and when I got there I just kind of stopped listening to it because I was focusing on other stuff on my channel and just like doing other stuff in my life. And then I was like, okay, I have to make this, so maybe during the time when the game is out and I'm playing that, I'll be editing that video, so during everyone's playthroughs and people who are playing the game and stuff like that, they can listen to me talk about Vows and Vengeance, because it's more of a review than me just like catching you up or anything, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I cannot recap an episode of that show for the life of me, so I would probably just talk about what happened in the episode and then that's about it, and like review each episode and tell you how it is. That's probably what's gonna happen. But yeah, so this channel will not go dormant just while I'm playing the game, but I will be talking about the Dragon Age The Veilguard when time comes. I'm going to finish it probably and then review it. I'm going to be obviously behind, so I'm going to just review it after I finish it because I don't want to preview it and then I think it's really great or something like that and then it's like not my favorite game in the world and afterwards. So I'm setting myself up for this. I'm going to probably play it on launch. I'm not going to pre-order the game. I know people who did, so I'm just going to play it when the day it comes out and then talk about it later on. But that's it for this video. I talked about all of my worries and things like that. I'm excited, but I'm kind of worried about how it's gonna turn out in the ending because all of the stuff that I had issues with, like I said, I have some videos in my playlist talking about all of the stuff. It kind of shows like the build-up of how I got to this point, but that's about it for this video. Thank you for all of your support for this channel. I'm so thankful. And all of the videos that I released some Dragon Age videos and some Yakuza / Like a Dragon videos, and they have done fairly well. So thank you guys so much for watching and enjoying my content. I'm so thankful for this because I never thought I would get this much support after just starting my channel not too long ago, and I appreciate it. And we are almost to Dragon Age. I will be making a video about the reviews and then launch day, and I'm excited but I'm also nervous. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Tell me how you guys feel, and thank you guys so much for watching and supporting this channel. I'm so thankful. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Whoa, 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 I'm just a man missing you, please understand.